I don't usually talk much about how I started my career in transportation design, but lately I've realized that I should because my journey was full of challenges, probably very similar to the ones you're facing right now. And if I can help you avoid few of the mistakes I made, then sharing these stories will be worth it. My passion for car design began during my third year at university, completely by accident. I was taking an illustration class, and my professor showed us how to illustrate cars using markers. That moment changed everything. It was fascinating, and from that day on, I spent years practicing and trying to improve. But contrary to what many think, my career didn't start in an automotive studio. It began in a small product design studio called Domus, which later became one of Brazil's biggest design studios. My first big break came in the mid 2000s at Honda R&D Brazil as a CMF designer. At first, I worked on colors and graphics, but over time, I learned how to design motorcycles. Two of those projects, the CB300 and CG150 Titan, became bestsellers in Brazil. That was an amazing chapter of my life. But in 2006, I decided to make a big leap. I moved from two wheels to four, from motorcycles to cars. And honestly, that was one of the hardest transitions of my entire career. After 6 years designing motorcycles, I realized I had to unlearn almost everything. Motorcycle design is mostly done in side view, but in car design, perspective is everything. When I prepared my first automotive portfolio to apply at General Motors, it was rough. It included some motorcycle projects and a few loose car sketches. If I saw that portfolio today, I probably wouldn't approve it myself. But somehow, it opened the door. And then came my real challenge. My first project at GM was a car interior, something I have never done before. The pressure was enormous. I had to learn from scratch and quickly. Back then, there were no online courses, no transportation design programs in Brazil. I had to learn it by observing, asking questions, and absorbing knowledge from my colleagues who had been doing this for years. It took hours, sometimes days, to get a single design right, and I finally realized something. It wasn't about talent, it was about knowing the real design process. When I started to understand the fundamentals, proportions, surfaces, graphics, stance, everything changed. That's when I truly began to think like a designer. By 2009, I had gathered enough experience to help others who were struggling just like I did. So I founded Sketch, a specialization course in automotive design for students who wanted to shorten the learning curve and build professional portfolios. For over 16 years, I've been teaching transportation design through sketches, helping students to develop the skills needed to enter the industry with confidence. And over the years, I've worked with Honda, General Motors, and PSA, learning from incredible professionals and refining the process that took me from sketching on paper to designing real vehicles. After more than 25 years in this field, I started noticing something. Every student I met faced the same obstacles I once had. They had passion, they worked hard, but they lacked structure and direction. They didn't need another random YouTube tutorial. They needed a clear professional method. That's why I created CarSketch, the course I wish I had when I started. CarSketch teaches the real process, the same one used by designers in major automotive studios. You will learn how to master proportions and perspective, how to sketch cars from all angles, how to render like a professional using Photoshop, and how to build a portfolio strong enough for transportation design programs in Europe. More than 200 students have already gone through this process, and many are now working in studios like Volkswagen, Ford, Alfa Romeo, and Pininfarina. So, if you're serious about becoming a car designer, don't wait for the perfect moment. I wasted years trying to figure it out on my own. You don't have to. CARSKETCHIT gives you the foundation I wish I had. The same skills that took me years to master, you can learn in weeks. And the best part, it's the most affordable and complete course to prepare you for a career in car design. For just a fraction of what you'd pay for a transportation design master's degree and with lifetime access. Now you had two choices. Keep struggling on your own, watching random videos that don't teach the full picture, or take the professional path. Join me and let's build your future together. Click on the link in the description or pinned comment and start your journey today. I promise, when you get your first job as a car designer, you will look back and say, it was worth it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you inside the course. Ciao.